What does it mean to be disabled? Why can society and people look at me and say, I don't look disabled, I don't look sick? Well, how can you see a disability? Does that mean that all of a sudden you need to be in a wheelchair to be disabled? You know, I have 2 friends in wheelchairs that have disabilities. But that's not the only way of being disabled. I have a friend with a terminal illness. And if you saw her walking around, you would think she is completely healthy. Does it make me look more disabled when I walk around with a service dog? I don't know. But you don't need a service dog to be disabled or to have a chronic condition. Even if you don't think of it as a disability, chronic illnesses and invisible illnesses are called invisible for a reason. Right now, by looking at me, you can't tell that I'm sick. You can't tell my diagnoses. You don't know the pain I'm in. You don't know the medications and the treatments I take. You don't know how long I've been feeling this way. You don't know what I can do and what I can't do and what I used to be able to do compared to now. In junior year of high school, in the beginning, I took the PSATs. And based on my results, surprisingly, because I didn't think I did amazing on the test, I just thought I did decent. It said that it was recommended that I took AP courses. I was planning on taking AP Spanish 5 because I love Spanish so much, and that was my favorite class in school. A few months go by. Paralyzed my left foot in November, got drop foot and paralyzed, and my whole nervous system went crazy, and I magically, through the amazing help of special education in my school, I graduated high school on time, not being able to read a book. And not being able to read a book since 7th grade. I got through English class. I don't know how. I couldn't do it. I went from being a person who would be expected to take AP classes to a person who was in a special needs room with people helping me to do basic things. Nobody can see that I cannot add numbers well at all. People do not see that I was at the bank and I had to write down a long number, and my brother has to read it to me super slow, and then I forget which numbers are which, and my mom had to make the signs of number 6s and number 9s, and I couldn't remember which number was which to write down. Nobody can see the cognitive impairment that I have. It is on record, but nobody has my medical records but me and my family and who I choose to share that with. Nobody sees the cognitive decline. Only my family sees me stutter at words or forget what I'm saying and say things backwards, and that my short-term memory is shot. Nobody knows I used to have perfect 20/20 vision, and now I cannot be without my glasses to the point where I sleep in them most of the time because it's most comfortable for me, and and how bad my vision has changed. to the point where even if I didn't have seizures, which just because you're not seeing them doesn't mean I don't have them, that makes me unable to drive. No one sees me unable to drive. For the seizures, for one thing, and also for my vision is not good enough, and also my cognition. For getting red, do I stop? Green, do I go? My reflexes wouldn't be fast enough. I would get confused from where I'm going. I cannot recognize places that are close to me that I've been a million times. I'll be like, where are we? And we'll be 2 minutes from my house. I don't recognize places. People don't see all the things my service dog Sonoma does for me. How easily I forget to take medication, and how much I rely on him, and how much I rely on my mom to help me. That because of my cognition problems and constant pain and fatigue, that I am unable to go to college. And no, I cannot just take online classes because I cannot read a computer. And people think, oh, well, you can read a text message, or you're reading on your phone, you're looking at your phone. I have my font on the biggest font on my phone, and if it's like a 3-word text, I can read it. But if someone texts me a paragraph, they don't know that my eyes go back and forth and I can't control it, and they skip over lines, or that I have my phone read it to me. So no, I have a wheelchair in case I need it for emergencies. People don't see the ER visits that I go to, why I end up there. People don't see me being up all night. People don't see the amount of doctors that I see and all the things that they're going to try to help me. People don't see that my fine motor skills are not good. You cannot see an invisible illness. You cannot see my pain, and just because you cannot see my pain does not mean it is not there, and does not make me any less disabled or any less of a person with a chronic illness than someone with a wheelchair. I don't need to have braces, a sling on my arm, a bald head, or anything like that. People don't see the things that I need to do to get through a day, and how hard that is. Just because I'm smiling or happy does not mean that I'm not in pain and that I'm not having symptoms. I can assure you that everyone with a chronic illness smiles and is happy sometimes, and then we cry and are sad sometimes and angry and frustrated. That's completely normal. But just because you smile, or you're outside of the house, or I fix my hair nice, and I took a shower, maybe it was the first time in 5 days I could shower. Maybe I just threw my hair under the sink, like I do, because taking a shower is too much work. Maybe I wore the same clothes 2 days in a row because I'm going 2 different places and no one's going to notice, because it was too much work to change. People don't see that. Just because you're happy and living your life to the best possible degree doesn't make you cured of an illness. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be parking in a handicapped spot just because you don't have a wheelchair or a cane or a walker. Just because you're young and you look vibrant. Sometimes people will say to me, oh, you look like you're feeling better today. Your skin is glowing. And I used to just be like, oh, it's It's kind of awkward. And now I go, oh yeah, the power of makeup. Covering up all the bumps and things that happen to my skin specifically for treatment, that I don't wear makeup on a typical basis, but my skin breaks out from some of the treatments I do, and I'm a little self-conscious of it. So I do put some makeup on, and yes, it makes my skin look brighter. And I'm like, yeah, that's makeup. That's, if I put a little blush on and my cheeks look flush and I look energized, well, the makeup's doing a good job. It's not me. People don't see the naps that I take. 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours during the day. And then sometimes I'm still not able to leave the house. Do not judge people by what you are seeing. You can look at me and think I look completely normal, but you do not know all the diagnoses by looking at me right in the face right now. You can't even tell that I have a port in my chest. You don't know that I had surgery in my stomach or on my gallbladder. You don't know of anything that I've gone through or how hard it was for me to get out, and that getting out is my escape from being in the house all the time, that I don't get to be out or see my friends much at all. So sometimes it's better to get out and see people and feel like you're in a community a little bit, even if you're in more pain. At least that's what I think. To a degree. It's very hard. Every day is different for me. Some days I can't walk straight. Some days I can. Sometimes I'm having seizures. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I can't get out of bed and my mom has to do everything for me. Sometimes I'm taking an Epsom salt bath at 4 a.m. because I'm in constant pain. And sometimes I'm making a YouTube video at 1:15 a.m. because I have too much pain to fall asleep, which is right now. So think about this the next time you see someone park in a handicap spot, the next time someone tells you about an illness, that people are not too young for that, or you don't look disabled, you don't look sick, you don't look like you're feeling well. Those are very hurtful things, and I've been told that, or if you tell someone that they look so great, but yet they feel so bad on the inside. It's a very hard thing to live with, and I know we're just trying to live the lives we have to maximum capacity, but every day is a struggle in a different way, and there are struggles in every day, and there are great things that happen in every day, even little things. Snuggling your dog, watching a good show on TV. They might not be big, but they're big for us.